Hey there folks, Jen Bunk here, and aloha from Oahu. I am Jen Bunk, I am co-CEO of the People Stack, and on today's episode, we are going to talk about why setting unreasonable, ridiculous career goals is the safest bet for your tech career. Stay tuned. Hello, and aloha from Hawaii. We are on the beautiful island of Oahu, and that is the gorgeous Kaneohe Bay around right in back of us right now, just in case you're curious. So Rob and I have settled into our life in Oahu, and we are all ready to inspire you even more about how to build your dream tech career. So here's the paradox. Here's what we recommend. We recommend that you set ridiculous, unreasonable, over the top career goals. And that's actually going to be the safest bet for you. So let's talk about why this is a paradox, and let's talk about why so many people get this wrong. So many tech managers get this wrong and do it the other way. Do it the actually not safe way when they think it's safe. Here's what I mean. So what happens when you think you're playing it safe is it might sound something like, oh, I'm just going to be an engineer again, right? You're a software engineering manager. You're a director of engineering. I just want to be an individual contributor again. You're a data analytics manager. You're a VP of data analytics or something similar. And you're just like, yeah, you know what? I just want to get back to what I used to be doing. Maybe that's actually what would be safest. And this may happen at lots of different crossroads in your career. It may happen when you're just completely fed up with your boss, with the culture at work, when you're feeling like you need something new, when you've been trying to get a raise or a promotion and it hasn't worked. So you're like, all right, I need to do something different. But not too different, right? Because I need it to be safe. And so what you might do is say, all right, well, those years that I was an engineer, those years that I was a data analyst, those years that I was a other kind of individual contributor, like that felt safe. I got steady paychecks. It was relatively easy work. That's what I should go back to. So here's the reason why that may feel safe, but it's actually not the safest bet. So number one, well, here's a few reasons. Number one, what's going to happen is you're going to go out on the job market and you're going to be applying for jobs that you are grossly overqualified for. And people are going to pick up on that. You're going to get questions. We actually have one of our higher end clients. Anybody can fall into this trap, by the way. So this is not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to be like, well, I've never done that. We've all done it from time to time in our lives and our careers where we say, you know what, I just want to go back to the old days. I just want to go back to a time when I felt like everything was like I knew what I was doing. Can I just turn back the clock? Wouldn't that feel the safest thing to do, the most comfortable thing to do, the best thing for me to do to move forward? And so we actually had one of our higher end clients who's at a career transition point, and she's figuring out what's next, and she's been going on some interviews here and there to kind of figure out what she wants to do. And she used to lead a team of 15. Like, that's what she loves doing. She loves mentoring. She loves teaching. She loves training big teams. Like, that's her zone of genius. But she was like, I don't know, maybe that's not what I want to do anymore. Maybe I want a smaller team. And during the interview, they asked her, well, if you were to work here, you'd be leading a team of 5. I'm curious, you were leading a team of 15 before. Are you sure you want to do that? And that made her really think, like, oh, am I sure I want to do that? Because if she were to do that, she would absolutely be settling. If she were to move somewhere where she only had a team of 5, before she thought that is the safe thing to do, but now she's realizing that it's not, because this person here who only just met her 30 minutes ago is questioning it. So that's number one reason why it's actually not safe to just do what you did before. That it's not safe to do what might feel comfortable. That it's not safe to go back in the past and do what you've done back there, because people are going to question you. You're a leader, after all. Leaders don't just rewrite history. We make history. And in order to create that legacy, really is what we're talking about, you need to do things that aren't just what you've done before, but something different and new and profound and extraordinary. That's what we're here to do. And people will pick up on that. If you are overqualified for the position, they are going to call you out on it. Or at least the good ones will. And they'll be like, you don't want this job. And we don't want you wanting this job because it's not going to be a fit. So that's number one reason why it's actually the safest to stretch your goals, to make them ridiculous, unreasonable. Goals that you might tell your parents or your friends, and they may be like, oh, wow, are you sure you might be going a bit too big here? Like, you want that reaction from some people. So here's another reason why it's actually unsafe to settle. Another reason is because, let's say in this scenario, they were to hire you. Let's say in this scenario that it's like somebody gives you that job as an engineer. Somebody gives you that job where you are playing below your weight class. You are going to be so unfulfilled. It is going to suck the life out of you. You're going to be either bored to death, frustrated to death, or some combination of that, because it's not what you were meant to do. You were meant to grow. You're meant to be uncomfortable, not just sit and be safe and comfortable. Because the law of the universe, the law of nature is expansion. The universe is continually expanding. We're getting more and more scientific evidence of that every single day. So if you go against that in any area of your life, against this law of expansion, you're fighting the natural laws of nature. You're fighting the natural laws of the universe. So we don't want that for you. So that's what's going to happen. If you end up doing what feels safe and moving backwards in your career, then people are going to question you. People are going to wonder whether you're actually capable of being a leader. You're going to question yourself as far as whether you should be a leader and whether you're good enough to be a leader. And you're going to be completely and utterly unfulfilled and lack any joy in your life. And that's not what we want. Obviously, you wouldn't be listening to this, you wouldn't be watching this right now if you wanted to settle. So this is a call for you to be ridiculous and unreasonable, to set your goals so high that, think of like, one of my mentors calls it the shitty committee. Like, pretend the shitty committee is sitting in front of you and you share your goal with them, right? I want to become CTO of a billion-dollar organization, and I'm going to get paid at least $500,000 in salary, and of course there'll be more than that in terms of the stock options and all of that, and I'm going to love my job. I'm never going to work more than 40 hours a week, and I am just going to be filled with joy every day for the company that I work for the company that I lead, the tech. It's just going to be the most fun, absolutely most fun experience of my entire life, and I'm going to be able to do that within the next 2 years. And then imagine the response of the shitty committee. They are the shitty committee after all. The response that you'd want, the response that you're going for with whatever dream that you set for your career, for your life, is basically something like, whoa there, partner. Hang on, you're dreaming way too big, you're going way too fast. This is not safe at all. You're going to burn yourself out. There's no way you're ever going to get paid that much. And oh my God, nobody's ever done that. Why do you think you would? We all have that voice in our head. We all have that doubter voice in our head that says, you're not enough. You're never going to be enough. No one really likes you. And you're not going to be able to achieve that thing. You're actually going for that response in a playful way. So if you don't get that response, that visceral response from the shitty committee, your dreams aren't big enough. So I want to give you an example of one of our clients. One of our clients, Lucy. So I want you to be inspired by this story, and I want you to be inspired by how she was able to slowly but surely stretch her goals so that she could land her dream job. So she started working with us at a time in her career where she was working for the same company for 15 years. 15 years, government job. She started out, when she did it, it felt really good. Like, she really loved it at the beginning of her career. She loved doing public service work. She loved the fact that she got to help her community, and she was just in her zone of genius. Her zone of genius is data analytics. And she slowly but surely rised up, got up to a level of manager, almost like a director level. But then after working there for about 10 years or so, she started just feeling completely burnt out and completely like, I need something new. So for almost 5 years, she was in this place of like, I don't know, I could be doing something more, but it's a government job, it's safe, it's a steady salary, and I really love the people. She loved the people that she got to work with on a daily basis. But she was not feeling fulfilled anymore. So that's when she started working with us. And so we pushed her, we challenged her, you gotta dream bigger, you gotta dream bigger. And come to find out that she actually had a big dream, which was to move to another state to be closer to her mom, because her mom was sick. And she wanted to be right there with her mom. So, and amidst all of this, she wanted to get paid more, and she wanted even more challenge in her work as well. So she went out there, she went on the job market, we gave her our strategies, we gave her our systems, and in the midst of being on the job market, her old job, which was her current job, but let's call it her old job for now, they actually offered her a raise and a promotion. She almost took it because that's what would have been safe. She almost took a job working for the same company that she was like itching to leave, because they were going to give her more money, and they were going to give her more autonomy, and they were going to give her more fun projects in government work. And she knew that it wasn't actually going to be fun, but she almost took it. And I remember the conversation where it was like, oh gosh, Jen, should I just take this position because this is what feels reasonable. This is what feels like the safe thing to do. This is what feels comfortable. I know these people. I know. It's like, isn't the devil you know better than the devil you don't? I'm like, either way, you're dealing with the devil. How about we shuck that aside and go for your dream? She's like, all right. So she kept at it. And essentially, she visited the new city that she was wanting to work in. She made a few really, really great connections. She was having coffee with somebody who was hiring for something that would have been a little bit of a stretch for her. It would have been at least better than keeping the old government job. They had her open rec for it. It was like a manager kind of a position. Had coffee. She talked about, because she was working with us, she was gaining even more confidence, and she was able to talk about what her mission is and the value that she adds, and she was able to do it in an authentic way, and it really resonated with this guy. He took the open rec and he ripped it up and he said, "We want to hire you, but not for this rec. You're overqualified for it. You're overqualified for it." So then they wrote a new rec, they wrote a new job that was custom tailored for her, for Lucy's skill set, for her abilities, and for what she really, really, really wanted. And so the universe and her friends and this guy that she had just barely met gave her this signal of expand, 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 expand. Don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. And she went for it, and she landed that job with, I believe it was a 35% raise in the new city, and she was thriving in it because she set the intention to say, I'm not going to settle. I'm going to be unreasonable. I'm going to be ridiculous. And yes, there were people in her family who were telling her, there were friends who were telling her, you're ridiculous, Lucy, for thinking that you can do this, that you can move to a completely different state in a completely different market and get a 20% or more raise when you've been at the same company for the last 15 years. And she was like, I hear you. I have those doubts within me too, but I know I'm better than this. And I have a system that I can follow, and I have coaches who I can trust that help me get there. So look, here's the shift. I'm just going to lay this out for you. Here's the shift that we want you to make. Set unreasonable, ridiculous career goals that the shitty committee is like, whoa there, partner, you're dreaming too big. You're being too ridiculous. You're being too unreasonable. Those are the kind of career goals that we want you to set. So that's the simple shift. Is it easy to do? Maybe, maybe not, depending on your position, the context that you're in. But it's simple. In other words, that's really all that needs to get done. The work that you get to do is to decide what it is that you want and to move forward there. So I know that a lot of you are wondering at this point, all right, what's next? So for some of you, you're just going to be like, okay, this was a cool video, and I'm going to just walk on off and watch the next video. But for some of you, that's not what you want to do. Because you have questions now. How do I apply this in my career? How can I follow in Lucy's footsteps and create my own path, still march to the beat of my own drummer? What does unreasonable mean for me? What does ridiculous mean for me? What am I truly capable of in my tech career as a leader? And you want to be able to apply this shift, which for a lot of you, you may have been thinking of doing, and this is really just permission. Yes, I'm giving you permission to be unreasonable. I'm giving you permission to be ridiculous, because that's what creates joy. That's what creates a fun life, and that's what we want for every single one of you. So you can just move on by and be like, okay, bye, I'm just going to go watch another video now and not take any action, and you can keep staying stuck. And you can keep staying in a place where you're settling for mediocre, where you are underpaid, where you are overworked, where you are underfulfilled. And that's your right if you want to keep doing that. But for those of you who are ready to lean into the expansion that is the rule, that is the law of nature, and to apply that to your career so that you can actually see, hear, feel, taste, smell all of the wonderful, great dreams that you're able to create up in here and in your heart, and you want to be able to see them for yourself, for real, in your bank account, in the conversations that you're having day to day with your team, in your lifestyle, being able to live wherever it is that you want to live, your dream home, with your dream salary, with your dream team. If that's what you want, that I want you to book a call with our team right now. The link is thepeoplestack.com/book. You're going to click on that link, pick a time that works for you, and then you'll get the calendar invite and hop on Zoom at the time of that call. And one of my team members is going to meet you there, and you're going to have a fabulous, clarifying conversation. As long as you show up coachable, as long as you show up willing to stretch the boundaries of your comfort zone, willing to be open to creating your dream and not staying stuck and settling for mediocre. So book that call with my team right now. thepeoplestack.com/book. Show Up Coachable is going to be the most clarifying career conversation that you ever had. All right, thanks for sticking with me on this beautiful walk on beautiful Kaneohe, Hawaii, and I will catch you on the next video. Aloha, my friends, and mahalo.